Hello, everyone. Dr. Will here. I'm at the beautiful Tampa Airport getting ready to go to Las Vegas, Nevada to teach at the National Guild of Hypnotists Solid Gold. It's always my pleasure to do that kind of thing, to go teach and share and that. And I'm teaching on waking hypnosis. But as we look to the future, I want to ask you if you would join me in an experiment. This weekend, I'm going to do a weekend of gratitude, appreciation, and power, trying to step into my power. Lately, I've been really focusing on, the difference between force versus power. And it's originally based on the work of Dr. Dawkins. He had a book in the 90s, Force versus Power. And he talked about when you're using force, you're in a negative energy field. You're in your negative state, anger, resentment, fear, I said resentment, jealousy. And when you're in those, it drains your power because you have to use force to do anything you want to do, or you have to force yourself to do something, as opposed to when you step into power, it's energizing, right? And I always use the analogy of you've known people that could go and work out for an hour and they walk out of there after an exhausting workout and they're energized, right? And yet, if they try to do something that if they try to do something that drains them, that they don't enjoy doing, even if it's less energy, it will literally drain them. So what can we do, right, to stay in the higher states? And according to Dr. Dawkins, the switch point is when you get to courage, and courage starts with truth. The whole recovery world discovered this, where all change starts with truth, and then having the courage to take action. But you have to have, the truth is to say, I can't do this by myself. I don't know the answer. What can I do to do this? Um, and if you do that, then you're beginning to move up into those states of like willingness and hope. And of course, the higher states are like love and joy. But those are harder to achieve. But if you can stay in the area of courage and willingness and gratitude is a thing you can do that switches your mental state, because you can't feel gratitude and be angry. You can't feel gratitude and feel resentment, right? And when you feel really good gratitude, I mean, and my joy this weekend is to teach, but also to try to see that, if you're in that state, you're kind of neutral. If you see someone, that's driving a Bentley or a Ferrari, right? Rather than feeling jealousy or anger or like, why do they get that and I didn't, or that's a waste of money, whatever it happens to be. What if you look at it and go, well, good for them, great. So it's like, in our world, if somebody's business is kicking ass, if you just are joyful for them, it changes your energy. And when you're in a really good energy place, people are drawn to you. We've all had the experience of being around a teacher that loves what they do. They're sharing information that they love. It's why people get into certain hobbies, martial arts, theater. My daughter just experienced that, got back into theater, and she's like, the people there are so energetic. Well, they're doing something they love, and that's magnetic uh, for most people, right? So uh, just have some fun with that and step into it. And so as you're doing that, uh, you can it shifts your energy, right? But then again, we've been around teachers that like they're burned out, they don't want to teach this anymore. And it's kind of draining to be in that room. So that's one of the reasons I'm doing it, is to stay in that so I can share this information with people. um, but if you join me, because every person that gets out of the negative states, the anger, the resentment, the fear, the shame, the guilt, and society wants us in those states, because when you're in those states of shame and guilt and anger, resentment, greed, you spend more money, right? You try to do things to make yourself better. Alcohol, drugs, sex, gambling, more, right? So they want us in those negative states. But when one person breaks up into those higher states of 300 of things like, love, and well, love is 500, but things like willingness and hope and gratitude, it raises the entire world's energy levels much more than that. Unfortunately, most people never step out of the negative states. All you got to do is look around, right? And one way to do that, by the way, is to keep us polarized. And again, it could get in that, well, if they have this, that stops me from getting that, even though if you really pull back, it really wouldn't. But let's join me on this weekend of gratitude and stepping into your power and celebrating success in every aspect, other people's, yours, everything like that, right? And that kind of lights up that glow on the inside. So that's my request to you. If you like this, make sure you click subscribe, let people know. I'm trying to share this information. I'm kind of taking my trainings and my stuff in a slightly different direction because I've been given gifts beyond my wildest imagination. I never thought I'd have a life like I have right now, and it keeps getting better. Yes, there's challenges. Yes, there's setbacks. Yes, there's all that. But if you're in the right space, things can go a little bit better. So join me on this. And again, click subscribe, leave a comment, pass this around, let people know. And if you have any other questions, just reach out to me, shoot me a message. Go to drwillhorton.com, leave me a message, leave a comment. I'll get back to you. And we can join in this quest together, right? And so let's have some fun and do that. So again, thank you. It's my pleasure beyond my wildest I can't explain the joy I feel when I really get to do the things I want to do. And so thank you for that. Again, I'm here at the beautiful Tampa airport. They're really, it's a nice airport. They're fixing it up. And today, I've had the example of trying to stay in those good states, right? My flight's at I think 11, which is a weird time to leave from a metro area because you have to get in, if you try to get in close, you're fighting rush hour traffic. So I got here real early, and that's a good thing. And then I went to get coffee, and the line was going fast. And right before I get up there, the lady in front of me, the line stops, right? The line stops. I always think that's funny. And again, depends what state you're in. I'm like, well, this is interesting. And you can see people getting frustrated, right? So I tried to stay positive, and but it's like, as we're getting ready, I said to one of the ladies in front or behind me, I said, it's like being at the bank or the grocery store. The line goes fast till you get there. And they, so everybody, they laughed and we talked. I'm like, well, they got to do what they got to do, and it's just what it is. What do you make of the situation? Situations are neutral. It's your response to the situation that's everything. So again, this weekend, join me in a weekend of gratitude and appreciation, and stay in your states of power of courage and hope and love and willingness to look at things differently. Thank you. Have a great day. Again, click subscribe. Let me know how I can help. Have a great day.